And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, today we're going to be talking about Alina Habba. She was a prosecutor for the United States of America, a former Trump personal attorney, apparently. And he installed her as prosecutor in New Jersey, and now she has been disqualified. Now, if you're thinking, hold up, Alina Habba, I thought it was Lindsay Halligan who was disqualified as a prosecutor for the United States of America. Yeah, this is the second time that this has happened over the past week or so, and it's not going to be the last. There are any number of Trump prosecutors, United States prosecutors, who are on the chopping block right now. So you have Alina Habba, who's gone. You have Lindsay Halligan. She was handling the Letitia James bank fraud case, and she was handling the James Comey perjury case. She's gone. You have another person named Asali out in California. You have another person in New York who looks like he's going to also get the same treatment that Alina Habba got. And all of this comes back, y'all, in my opinion, it all comes back to how Pam Bondi has been handling the Department of Justice. You have these two prosecutors who have been disqualified just in the past week, as I've said, with more on the way. And yeah, this is going to cause some problems, y'all. So we're going to take a look at the appeals court decision and get some more information on it. First, let's take a quick look at the challenge to Alina Habba that resulted in today's disqualification. But before we do, y'all, we are launching our official Patreon. So if you want to be a founding member on our Patreon, we have just 222 slots, y'all. If you want to be a founding member, go down, click the very first link in the description, and you're going to feel good about this, y'all, because believe it or not, we are an actual paralegal school, and we help people get their paralegal certificate and get working in the paralegal field. And all of the proceeds from our Patreon, when you enroll as a founding member, all of that is going to go to scholarships for people who would like to study at our institute, y'all. So click that first link down in the description. Join us as a founding member, y'all. This deal will not come back. Now let's get into the story.
A judge has ruled that President Trump's former personal lawyer is unlawfully serving as New Jersey's top federal prosecutor. Alina Habba's authority as the state's acting U.S. attorney is challenged by two defendants who faced federal drug trafficking charges. Well, their attorney sought to block those charges, arguing Habba did not have the authority to prosecute the cases after her 120-day term as interim U.S. attorney expired in July. The judge's decision is expected to be appealed.
Okay, here the appeals court writes, on January 8th, 2025, the presidentially appointed and Senate confirmed U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey, Philip R. Selinger, resigned. So Selinger, he resigned on January 8th. That was before Trump even took over power. Then First Assistant U.S. Attorney Vikas Khanna automatically assumed the functions and duties of the office pursuant to the law and became the acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey. So Vikas Khanna took over and became acting U.S. attorney. On March 3rd, under the new presidential administration, Attorney General Pam Bondi appointed John Giordano as interim U.S. attorney for New Jersey. Giordano resigned 3 weeks later, at which time the Attorney General appointed Alina Habba as interim U.S. attorney. Okay, so Alina Habba was appointed in March. Habba was sworn in on March 28th. On June 30th, President Donald Trump nominated her for the permanent role. The Senate never acted on the nomination. So this is one of the big problems. The Senate has to confirm these nominees in order for them to become permanent. The Senate never acted on Alina Habba's nomination. So because she was in a temporary role, she had 120 days in her role, and something needed to happen. Either she needed to get Senate confirmation or she needed to get appointment from a district court judge. So as the 120-day deadline approached, the United States District Court for the District of New Jersey issued a standing order providing that Desiree Grace, the first assistant U.S. attorney at the time, would be interim U.S. attorney effective upon the expiration of Habba's 120-day term. So Habba has her 120-day term as interim. And the court said, well, once she's done, it's going to be Desiree Grace. Okay, so y'all follow, right? Habba's going to have 4 months in the position. And when that's up, the court had said it's going to be Desiree Grace. In response, the Department of Justice terminated Grace's employment. So they fired Grace once the court said, Grace, you're up next. The Department of Justice fired Grace, is what this document says. Then on July 24th, the Trump administration took several steps. The president withdrew Habba's nomination for U.S. attorney. Remember, the Senate never took that up, so Trump just withdrew the nomination altogether. Habba resigned as interim U.S. attorney. So they had fired Desiree Grace so that Habba could stay in the position, but now Habba is resigning. And the attorney general issued an order appointing Habba as special attorney to the attorney general, accompanied by a letter authorizing Habba to conduct, quote, any kind of legal proceedings. So that's what Pam Bondi did. Any kind of legal proceedings which United States attorneys are authorized to conduct. And in the same order, the Attorney General also designated Habba as first assistant U.S. attorney, which purported to mean that Habba automatically became acting U.S. attorney pursuant to the law. As a result of these moves, the government contends that Habba is acting U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey. So y'all, I'm going to just skip down to the decisions that the court made. So the court decided that she was not first assistant when the office became vacant. Okay. Habba was appointed after the vacancy. So basically, after the U.S. attorney job was vacant, they appointed her to the first assistant role such that now she could just automatically slide into the acting role. So to explain that to you, you have the U.S. attorney, you have the first assistant. If the U.S. attorney leaves, then the first assistant becomes the acting U.S. attorney, okay? But the U.S. attorney had already left when they appointed Habba as the first assistant. There was no U.S. attorney. So the court is saying, look, you tried to put her in the first assistant role when there was nobody for her to assist to, because there was nobody in the U.S. attorney role. So basically, you just wanted her to automatically become the acting. That it doesn't work that way. She has to be the first assistant to an actual U.S. attorney. Then if that person leaves, she can become the acting U.S. attorney. You can't put her into the first assistant role when there is no U.S. attorney and she become the act. It doesn't work that way. So the court, they said no to that. And also because she had been nominated as U.S. attorney, this disqualified her from serving as acting U.S. attorney. In other words, she needed to go through the Senate route. They nominated her, which means either she's going to get confirmed or not, but she cannot become acting U.S. attorney because that nomination, according to the law, precludes her from becoming the acting U.S. attorney. And finally, Pam Bondi's end around where she gives a letter saying, hey, this letter means she can do whatever she wants as a prosecutor. The court said, no, she can't. So basically, y'all, that's it. She's disqualified. But unlike Lindsay Halligan, her acts, the cases she was working on are not dismissed like in the case of Lindsay Halligan. So she's dismissed, but the cases are not. So yeah, y'all, I said in the last video where we were talking about Lindsay Halligan, I said it's all Pam Bondi's fault. I think people didn't like that, but I stand by that, y'all. You have to do things according to the law. You can't just make up things as you go. And this looks slop-doppy, y'all. It looks slapdashery. It doesn't look good. And there's more of this to come. So y'all let me know. I mean, some of y'all, some of y'all didn't like that I said that, but I'm standing by it. Let me know what y'all think down below. Y'all, before you do, please stop, hit the share button, share this video out over all your favorite social mediums. Share it over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. And, if you can find another social media, share it over that one too. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. I want to thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.